Are you feel confused and paralyzed and you have this analysis paralysis because you came across two funds that look similar? And these funds I'm talking about, they are funds from YieldMax, because recently they released two funds that look similar and they're kind of confusing. So some people will be like, which one should you buy? So luckily for you, in this video, I'm going to show you what all they have and which one should be best for you to buy. So just make sure you stick around. We're going to start with a chart from Yahoo Finance, and this is we start with YMAX. We can see here the price right now is 2070, and it has done really well within 5 days. We can see that within a month. It hasn't been a month, but it has, eventually, of course, it only started about 20, and then now it's about 2070. So it has done well, and you're waiting for dividend. And the next one, we're going to YMAG. We can see YMAG actually also has done well within all time, if we go to 5 days, because it just literally started. And we can see right now it's at 2030. At one point, it was almost 21, but it did start at 19, almost about $20. So all in all, you're up. Now we're going to actually Scorecard. So for you, between these two, these are brand new ETF that came to the market last week, as I've mentioned, and there are a lot of confusion between YMAG and YMAX, and you are battling which one should you buy. So if you look at this chart, I'm going to actually describe how I came up with all these points, and that will make it very, very easy for you. But before I go deeper on this, just make sure, if it's your first time, just make sure you subscribe. And if you like this content, just make sure you smash that like button, because make sure you hit the notification button so you don't miss the update whenever I release those type of update. So the first category, what I did is I did 5. I usually do this battle, and I always divide them by 5 categories because that's easy. I don't want to do 6. I think 5 is the good point. So we do 5 points. And what I did, I categorize them by geography, fees, diversification. We look at performance, and we look at the yield and distribution. And then we put YMAX right there on this column. In this column, we put YMAG, and we look at the scorecards, how much each one scored. So we look at geography and risk and strategy of these two type of funds. All of them, they're large US cap, even though they have different stocks in them, but they are large US and they're blend, right? So, of course, you have tech, you have different, they all blend, and they're mega cap. So, and the geography, of course, they're all US. So geography, they are draw, because they're all US, there's no international in these companies. We look at the fees. Fees, both of them, these are YMAG and YMAX. Both of them right now, which all fee together, which we call MER, management expense ratio, it's going to be 1.25, 1.28. So that point also, when it comes to fee, is a draw. When it comes to diversification now, we know they're all geography, though US, so there's no any other country involved. But now diversification, meaning which one has diversified more. Of course, we look at this one, though, even though YMAG has a little bit of different sectors. For example, if you look at the, NVIDIA and Tesla, they kind of do different things. But when it comes to the stocks, they invest in. YMAG has only 7 ETF that is involved, or pretty much 7 stocks. Those are Meg 7, as the name suggests. And this one has all the YMAX ETFs, and which right now account for 18 of those ETF, or 18, of course, represent 18 stocks. So this one have more diversification, because there are banks, there's tech, there everything in these 18 stocks. So YMAX, of course, is the winner in that category of diversification. When it comes to performance, which one has outperformed better? So we look at the YMAG, and I'm going to show you how I get all these performance, and how would I get the yield. But we look at the performance, we look at the 50%, is YMAX has returned about 50% within 1 year of performance back test. And YMAG has returned about 78 and 30%. You might ask, why YMAG hasn't been around for a year, and YMAX hasn't been around for a year? How did you get those? So if you stick around, you're going to know, because before you leave, make sure you know how I get this percentage of return. When you look at the yield and distribution, and also you might ask, how did you get this one, right? But in short, I get YMAX, I get 56 0.75. You watch my other video, you know how I get that one. And when you look at YMAG, right now is only 36.07 when it comes to yield and distribution. So in this category, of course, YMAX has won. And also, I'm going to explain how I get these this yield distribution. If we look at YMAX on YieldMax website, we can see YieldMax Universe Fund of Option Income. And for people who don't know, of course, this is a fund of fund which invests on all those ETF. And if you want to know in details, just make sure you watch the link below. I'm going to put a link that I made a video describing what YMAX is. But if we look at the distribution right now, there's nothing there. It's a zero. There's no distribution. So you might ask, how did you get that distribution? We'll come to that. And if we look at YMAG, also doesn't have distribution. So how did we get that distribution? I'm going to show you again if you stick around. And by the way, also YMAG is YieldMax Magnificent 7 Fund Option Income ETF. So meaning you invest in those 7 stocks. I'm going to show you those stocks which are, and if you want to know more details about this particular fund, just make sure also you watch my other video I made a couple days ago. So now let's start with performance. So what I did in performance, in order for me to determine which one would outperform the other one, we did something we call back testing. So as you know, back testing is not a science. It's something that we back test and look which one would have done better, because that's the only way we can do to determine who is the winner. And doing back test using portfolio visualizer. So I took all the stocks in YMAX. And then I took all the stock in YMAG. I put on this category, and then I, back test them, right? So if we invested in these 18 stocks here, and if we invest in these 7 stocks, I just look at performance 1 year, because these funds, of course, they haven't been around for that long. Of course, the stocks themselves have been around for long, but I didn't want to go all the way back test for many years. I just did what stocks would have done just these couple years, and then I get 1 year, of course, without I get 1 year performance of YMAX or portfolio 1, which is YMAX was 50.63, and if you look at YMAG, it was only 78.30. So YMAG has outperformed. So I did, of course, using backtest, using this method to get performance, and that's, of course, does not include actually the yield what YMAG and YMAX would have paid the actual funds. So again, this is a backtest, meaning we don't know what the future is going to hold between these stocks. So that was it when it comes to performance. So now let's go to yield. So you might ask, how did you get the yield? So what I did is, of course, I took all the ETF that invested under YMAX, and I took all the ETF that invest under YMAG. And of course, I did these numbers here, took at the performance, and took at the yield that they've declared and the distribution that they have paid so far. We cannot know what they're going to pay in the future, but we have the data from the past what they have paid. Of course, YMAX, we're going to know for sure next week. Just make sure, if you want to know exactly how much they're going to pay, just make sure you stay in the loop, because I'm going to give you an update on YMAX. But when it comes to YMAG, next week, they are now going to declare how much it's going to pay, because it's brand new. But of course, when they announce next time, we're going to know for sure how much YMAX exactly, how much percentage is going to be for real. But for now, we have the data, what we did, what I did. Of course, I made a video on this one to show you how much you can actually retire using YMAX. And this is like what I did. I, took the yield that they have right now, average them, of course, the dividend that they've paid. You're going to get 91, 91, of course, if you were to invest in this YMAX using this method. This method is hypothetical method, meaning this is how YieldMax would have done, divide all this income that they're getting from that, and they're going to divide those income equally, and they're going to give you, that much. But we look at the yield. We look at the yield here is 56, because I remember I told you on a graph of the ETF battle, 5 points. I said YMAX is a winner because it's get 56% of the yield, while YMAG has only 36. And how I get the 36, of course, I did the same method that I averaged these ones. And the reason why actually YMAX has outbeat this one when it comes to yield is because of mainly because of 3 stocks. The first one is Moderna, which last month paid about 153%. that's how much they paid. They pay about $2.65. But if we look at the yield at that point, it was 153. When it comes to Coinbase, paid about 166%, which it paid $2.70 pretty much. So if we look at those two, the average would have been higher because of that. And of course, the other one was, AMD also paid really high, and AI also paid really high, about 94. So because of this pretty much a fall, they made YMAX using this method again, YMAX, yield to be more higher than what YMAG would have been, because of course the only one paid higher dividends here. When it comes to yield, was only TSL or Tesla. So that's how I get the yield. So I guess I've shown you how I got the yield and performance using those methodology I've used. I get performance, and we came to the conclusion that YMAG was a winner when it comes to performance because of the method that we use. And when it comes to yield, we look at YMAX was a winner on that. So there's no question on that. How I get that. That would make it clear. So when it comes to a point, I did of course 5 points, and we get YMAX 3 points, and we get YMAG 2 over 5 points. And of course, because there's 2 draw there, so each one is 1 point, which we pretty much divide. Each one took 1, or we pretty much divide it, right? So we can see there, the winner here would have been YMAX. So conclusion on this video, which one should you buy? Well, I would say if you are looking for, of course, just a higher performance, MAG 7 pretty much would outperform YMAX because it's more concentrated, but of course it's more risky a little bit. But when it comes to dividends and more secure and diversification, of course, YMAX would have been choice for you if those are the things that you're looking for. But end of the day, if you buy either of these one, you can go wrong with that. Or if you want to do other proper way, maybe you can actually buy 50-50, or you can just buy 30-40, or you can divide whatever you want, or you can own all of them, or you can just own one, because this YMAX has everything in YMAG. That's it for today. That's the conclusion of the video. So if you like this video and you think it helped you in any way, just make sure you smash that like button, and also do not miss update. Make sure you hit the bell button, and don't forget to subscribe. Till then again, guys, bye bye.